G'day YouTube, welcome to part 2 of our post-holiday catch-up, and as you can see, I haven't gone into another food coma. I'm still wide awake and alive. So we're just going to go right into it now. I believe, and I'm sure Ranger of Nights will correct me if I'm wrong, we have something like 6 episodes to get through.
Yes.
So
2 storylines.
Yeah. So we're just going to be very, we're just going to skim over it so that it doesn't take us 3 hours to get it done or whatever. Because as I'm sure you've all noticed, I have a very bad tendency of being interrupted at the worst possible times.
Yes, it's like a sitcom.
It's like you turn the Hangouts on, people start knocking at the door, ringing on the phone. Actually,
Do the coffee. Do the juice.
So we're going to go right into it now. I believe the first 3 episodes cover
The mad scientist. The mad scientist.
yes,
the artist.
Technic and Bolt,
Yes.
I believe.
Yeah.
Let's get straight onto that. These 3 episodes have a major.
Starts with a fire.
Yeah, there's a fire. It is a major overlying arc, introducing a new form and hinting at a new Romude.
Yes.
Plus the bad guy for the episodes, and word on Mr. Belt and what his deal is and everything. So this thing is a little bit intense.
Yes.
So it all starts with a fire and a weird-looking dude in a white suit that kind of almost gives me a Sylvester McCoy vibe.
The evil version.
It's the evil 7th Doctor. It's the Valeyard. I'm just going to call the guy the Valeyard for the rest of the episode.
You know, he do remember me of someone else. Dr. Giro, do you remember him?
Yeah. Yeah.
The guy that from Dragon Ball Z, the android guy.
Yeah, yep. I'm with you. So anyway, evil Sylvester Giro is actually a Romude / scientist by the name of Bolt, who imprinted a author and intends to bring his final unfinished book to life.
I must say, I was surprised. I thought he's a crazy scientist.
And if you think this is a crazy-sounding bad guy, you have never seen Kamen Rider Kiva.
I did.
Spider Fangire.
I did. You forget we did a show.
Yeah, no, I'm not forgetting. I'm just saying that to the people. I'm saying that to the people who think that Bolt is weird, because you remember the Spider Fangire.
I thought you were talking to me.
No, you remember the Spider Fangire.
Yeah, I remember.
Yes. Yeah.
I think.
I
remember the look.
The two with the guy with the 2 puppets, or the 1 puppet, or the puppets.
Yeah, I remember this guy.
A couple of levels beyond crazy, or in this case, a couple of levels beyond Bolt.
Yeah.
But there's, like I said, I'm going to go over this I'm not going to go into major details because we don't have the time.
Okay.
So
I'm sure everyone grown. I know the Americans viewers. I'm sure everyone grown when the kid appeared.
Yeah, kid actors are never well received, especially in Toku, especially the people who started with Power Rangers like I did. The various
Justin.
Well, not just Justin. not just Justin. Kid actors in general in Power Rangers, if you look, are either horrible, dubbed over, or horribly dubbed over.
Remember the dub over was the from light speed, right?
I think Lightspeed did it. Dino Thunder did it. I think there was a couple of times in Mighty Morphin where they did it.
Okay, the only guys that hate for child actor more than Power Rangers, you know who?
Who?
I'm sure you know.
Who?
Star Wars.
Yeah. 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 Episode 1 Anakin's definitely... I feel so hurt
I feel
for
bad for
you.
that kid.
Yeah. Anyway, so this kid is, you know, sort of kind of helps them figure out the whole deal. Bolt has a device that drains the electricity from the area
Yes.
for a specific purpose. Yes, I missaid that purposefully.
Yes. A hot one.
We will get to her in just two. Yeah, well, actually, no, let's go there now. The whole deal is to revive, or the ulterior motive is to revive a fallen Romude by the name of Medic. Medic is necessary because she can revive Romude cores,
Yes.
and as anybody who has been paying attention would expect, she is now officially Ranger of Night's favorite character because she is hot.
Yes.
Nobody who has been watching this series nobody who's been watching this series by this point, or our writer lookbacks at this point, is entirely shocked.
Yes.
So but that's in the end game. In the meantime, we have more questions being asked of Chase, and then of course, the new mode, Type Technic. Probably not. Actually, I'm going to reach deep down into my bag of Kamen Rider knowledge and the several clips of some of the older ones I've seen and say Type Technic reminds me of Robo Rider.
Who?
Robo Rider was a power-up for Kamen Rider Black RX and is might be better known in America as Saban's Masked Rider's Super Gold mode. It's got that.
Confused.
What was that? Sorry.
I'm confused.
Okay. All right. Story time.
Something that is green make you remember something that is gold.
Right. Story time with Ranger of Oz. In the original Kamen Rider RX, Robo Rider was
the one with
exactly.
The
yeah. Robo Rider was exactly as the name implies. He had a robotic movement to him. He used a gun. He was more heavily armored than... Yes. He was more heavily armored than the two other modes that RX had access to. His regular mode and Bio Rider. Excuse me. Technic has that mechanical feel to it. When he switches to Technic, he usually brings out the handle gun. The shape of Technic kind of reminds me of it. It's all very reminiscent of RX's Robo Rider.
I see.
So, that's pretty much the first thing I saw when I saw how he moved. It's like, Hi, Robo Rider. Nice to see you again. Love the new color.
Paint job.
So his tire changes take place around here, which is kind of disturbing because if they got it wrong, it would have decapitated him. Actually, that's kind of a terrifying thought. Dimension cab. What happens if he uses dimension cab in Technic? It's the headless rider.
The torso rider.
Yeah, it's just going to be basically from here down. Everything from his shoulders up is just going to be poking out the floor or something. Continue talking, dude. I'm being knocked on the door for.
Okay. So let's see. Ranger of Oz here has been knocked. The usual interruption, like usually. So let's talk about the kids' part of the storyline. There is a toy was burned, and Ryder and the cop, his partner cop, go take it to the scientist that fix it for him. So
What did I miss?
I was just talking about the toy that the scientist fixed for the kid.
Yeah, the little toy robot, which sort of starts leading into Tamari into figuring some things out. Anyway,
Okay,
Technic
about
Day.
the toy.
What was that? Sorry.
Is it an Easter egg for another series, or just a design they did?
It's just a toy robot. To my knowledge, it's not connected to any other series.
Okay.
That doesn't necessarily mean it's not something I don't know. I mean, it is Toei. They do have access to quite a few different anime and other live action stuff. So yeah, I don't know. So anyway, yeah, the kid gets caught by Bolt. Technic comes out. Bolt is theoretically destroyed, and then
Yes.
revived by Heart to fulfill his plan of bringing back Medic.
His
Now,
backup. He was he revived by that machine he was left behind?
yeah, he left the machine with Heart, which Heart used to revive him.
That is
Now,
interesting development.
what was that? Sorry.
It, there is an interesting development after he was destroyed.
Oh,
House reaction is different than a normal bad guy when a minion gets destroyed.
yeah, but Heart's okay. What we have in Drive is a double general situation. Now, in Kamen Rider, in these situations, some of the time, more specifically that I can think of, you have Drive and you had Wizard had this too. You have one general who is set on the plan. He knows what needs to be done. He's willing to he's willing to throw away, discard anything that gets in the way, or any monster that fails. And you have the more emotional one that sort of shows a twisted loyalty towards the minions and the monsters of the day, and generally fixates on the main rider or a secondary rider sometimes. In Wizard, this was very much shown with Medusa and Phoenix as well. Medusa being one that was set on serving Wise Man and completing their mission, while Phoenix focused very much on Wizard and destroying Wizard, and he was a lot more emotional.
I like the
Um,
emotional ones.
in this sense, you can sort of see while Brain feels an anger, I suppose, every time the Romute are destroyed, he's fixated on their original plan, whereas Phoenix is actually livid every time one of the other Romute is destroyed. And then you have Chase, who I don't know what's going on with that dude, but I'll get to him in a minute. I'll get to him in just 2 seconds. Now, so we find out a little bit about Belt's son, Mr. Belt. We find out that he was actually one of the brains behind the Roymute. In this case, he was the one that designed the power supplies that they run, and the Roymute are actually robots that were originally designed to help humanity, but as with anything else that did when this happens, seriously, people, Skynet, HAL 9000, stop building robots that are supposed to help humanity. It never works. Or if you do, please at least try to insert Asimov's 3 laws. I know they don't always work, but it's got to be better than the insanity that we normally get fixed with.
Or don't give them the ability to kill.
Exactly. Create a kill switch. Something, please.
Okay, make them like a normal human. They don't need to be stronger, by people.
So anyway,
Stop giving them so much strength.
So you find out that Mr. Belt was originally killed by Hart and the other Omutes, but Hart in particular, and Hart was behind the death of Protodrive.
And he's damn afraid of him.
Belt was quite terrified. Shinosuke thought, let's take this guy on. I wonder about him sometimes. But yeah, he took on Hart, and there was a big fight. 3 new shift cars decided to come in and help out.
And Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, the putting.
Kalima. Was anyone else chanting? Tell me in the comments below. Was anyone else chanting that section when he, reached into Hart's chest to rip his heart out?
I was thinking about it, but I didn't remember what he said. So I didn't know that it was what you said.
Yeah, Kalima. So yeah, Shinosuke is seemingly destroyed after Chase comes in and saves Hart. However, you find out that he was actually saved by 3 new shift cars.
Yes.
How many do we need? Got an army of the damn things by now. It's just... Oh look, we're in another situation here. Have another shift car. It's almost as bad as the sonic screwdriver, except there's no wood set. There's no wood weakness.
Or universal lock.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. So yeah, he gets saved. Belt is, revved to go. They head off to stop Bolt's plan. We find out we see more of Chase's hesitance to harm humans when Shinosuke says that if he doesn't get out of the way, the hospitals are going to shut down and humans are going to be hurt. And he actually steps out of the way. We also get a very brief glimpse of Mark. Very brief. 2 seconds. But he's there. And, they saved the day, medics revived. And then we come to Chase. I think this is the bit where they show Chase's Romute form. The end of this episode, I think it is. Or is it the end of next episode? Anyway, somewhere in here, Chase's base Romude form is shown, and it looks different from the others. Now, the other Romudes have come in three flavors: Spider, Bat, and I believe Cobra. Now, these actually represent something. These are
I
the
was expecting chocolate fries, chocolate vanilla, and
no, they're not Neapolitan. This is actually these are actually delving into more rider history here. Traditionally, when the monsters are animal based, Bat, Spider, and or Cobra will be the three animals that a rider will face. Right back to the original series.
are they normal enemy for the grasshopper?
I'm not sure about Cobra. I'm not sure, but it has been traditionally that if the enemy monsters have a animal basis, Spider, Bat, and or Cobra will usually be somewhere around the start of it. Cougar took on a Spider and a Bat monster within his first 4 episodes. So, yeah, but Chase doesn't have any of those animalistic qualities. What's more, his number is 0.
Zero.
Now, I've been thinking about this. This is a theory. You might even call
But
it
not a game.
rider theory. I'm so getting sued for that. I think. Alright, now, the theory is that Zero was Proto Drive. The Chase was Proto Drive. I'm going one step further. Chase is the prototype for the Romude. Belt-San activated him to help stop the others and protect humanity. Instead of actually being killed, however...
Isn't that like the Mega Man origin?
Similar to. It's very similar to. Instead of being destroyed like...
Rider Drive is Mega Man and and Chase is Proto Man.
Yeah. Basically, that's what I'm basically saying. Yes, Chase was Proto Drive was damaged, fought, destroyed, but I'm thinking that Brain and or Heart reprogrammed him, erased his memory of everything before the global freeze. It was probably Heart.
Because there is a strange loyalty between the two.
Yeah, so it was probably Heart. Yeah, he doesn't remember anything before the global freeze. So that's my theory at the moment. That's where I'm going for there.
You jumped a little.
Probably jumped a little, and I apologize for that, but I wanted to get that out of the way. You know, if you have your own theories, again, there's a comment section for just those sort of occasions. Please, by all means, use it.
Yes, lazy motherfuckers.
Now, be nice. So, the next block is actually the introduction of Kamen Rider Mark, who you find out is actually Kiriko's brother.
Yeah, the Robin after the drive.
Now, the Mark system was supposed to be the next step in the fight against the Romude, and supposedly more powerful than than Drive. And it does seem that way, although it does take a very it does take a toll on the user. Now, this isn't the first time we've seen something like this again in Kamen Rider.
That reminds me of the step between Super Saiyans and Super Saiyan 1, the pole.
Yeah, K-Can.
No, I mean the one what pretty sure Trunks got after going out of the chamber.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's not the first time, but it's usually power ups that have this effect, not actual base forms. Um, but yeah, you get Mark. He actually has a visor on his bike helmet, which is kind of cool, but doesn't actually show his face if he pulls it up. Um, which is quick note: the last and only rider that has ever had, like mainline rider that has ever had a situation where a part of their face has been shown after their transformation was Rider Man back in V3, where there's usually a faceplate on a rider in the bottom half covering the mouth. You could see his mouth, and you could see him when he talked.
That looks
So
sounds strange.
he, yeah, but Rider Man was a bit of a weird one. Maybe one of these days we'll get to V3 and we'll do a little bit on Rider Man. But for right now, we're still doing Mark. The Mark system is a bit weird. It uses signal bikes instead of shift cars, and instead of tire change, it's a signal change. Now, the way it's got a wheel about here on his body, and the wheel shows what signal he's using. Unlike Drive, where the tire changes can give him new abilities, new weapons, the signal the signal changes seem to affect his gun weapon and what sort of things that thing fires.
Yes.
Now it does have a melee thing. It's like designed like it's supposed to be a motorbike, and it's got a front tire which he spins and then uses as a chainsaw, or the RPM wheel grinds that they like to do in that Power Rangers series.
Yes.
But
Or
sorry, you were saying?
you know, but you know, you know what the cool weapons that have a melee and gun combo?
Gunblade.
Yeah, not the gunblade. That looked ridiculous. Just
It depends on the Gunblade. Final Fantasy VIII Gunblade didn't look very usable, but I still reckon it's the coolest flicking thing ever. Final
that,
Fantasy Final Fantasy 13 actually turned from blade to gun and back again.
yeah, that was the cool one. The one lightning have.
Yeah. Then again, I'm going to agree with Linkara on this state. Any time when you have a bladed weapon that is or turns into or uses in some way, shape, or form a gun or gun parts, you have an instant plus 10 of awesome.
That's two cases now.
I count Ryan's axe weapon in Titanium Ranger's axe in Lightspeed Rescue. It's got a blade, it turns into a gun, it counts.
Yes.
Or the Blade Blasters from the original Mighty Morphin. Oh yeah, I'm going way back old school.
Yes, old school like Donkey Kong.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so he's revealed he's a bit of a show-off. And
He's
it
like,
looks...
like I said, the Robin of the team.
Yeah. And it does look like that we're going to have the typical rider rivalry that we normally get with a main rider and secondary rider. However, at the end of it, you actually see Shinosuke and his name is blanking in my brain right now. Mark. Let's just call him Mark.
Joe. Go, Joe.
Go.
Yeah.
I think it was Go. You actually see them sort of bonding and sort of getting it together, I suppose.
Yeah.
Um,
Bro. Fist bumping.
yeah, they do a fit. They do this fist bump thing and everything. I honestly, I half expected that they were going to pull out Forze's handshake of friendship.
That was a sad moment for me.
Why?
I told you, I really like the big bro. Stop calling me that.
Yeah, that would have been a cool little but we've got we
Especially, especially during the when he explained the man, and he say, Nice one, big bro." The way he said it and his face when he said it is
he
damn funny.
yeah, yeah, and then Kiriko's like, oh god, now I've got to deal with two of them. So the main arc, the main plot, the case of that one was to one of the Roimune had an ability to reveal to create wristbands that would allow humans to use the slowdown effect. Um,
Let's talk about the first guy they captured that had the wristband.
he was a bit weedy.
What the hell was his haircut? His haircut doesn't work with his face, damn it.
And this is actually the first real time you see. Okay, now we all remember Detective Gen. I have been a bit on top of him on his case for being a male Scully. That is no longer the case. He is now flipping Mulder.
Yeah.
He has turned dead set into Mulder, and him and Shinosuke are actually a really good team when they get it together. I mean, between the two of them, they had that case cracked in record time. But yeah, we had two Roimune brothers, a gunman, and a guy that was creating the wristbands. Apparently, they'd been market followed them from America to take them out, and that's how he ended up teaming up with Drive and the crew. So he's now a partner, and we actually get to see something we've had hinted in the this coming week. We see something that's been hinted in the toy magazines, in the advertisings, and possibly learn whether I'm right about Chase, because I don't know if you watched the next episode, Staff Ranger of Nights, but in the next
Share.
yeah, in the next episode, you actually see Mark's bike and Chase's bike combined. This should be interesting.
Yes.
And with that, we are actually pretty much caught up. I'm currently waiting on the Guy movie. It should be up fairly shortly. We will probably do a video on that when that comes out, or I might do one alone. We'll see what happens.
Are you not doing about the sheriff movie?
Yeah, I've got to do that as well. Shida Next Generation, which I'm just going to give you
I
guys
leave you there now and you do it?
Hey? Well, that's
Or you
sorry.
do it?
I probably won't do it today. I want to watch it a couple of more times before I do something with it.
Okay.
Now, as for that, I will give you guys a quick sneak preview of what I thought of it, just for those who are watching this episode. And that's all you're going to get. Yeah, I think we covered all the major points for the episodes we've missed, which means we are caught up. The team-up movie has been in Japanese cinemas since December 13th. However, we're probably not going to see it till March.
So how the people opinion about it?
I haven't seen anything on it just yet. I try to avoid them. until at least the DVDs come out, and then I can at least see the team up transformation, which is always the best thing for me. Seeing them transform next to each other. I suppose that's why, despite the fact never actually sitting down and watching Black and Black RX, seeing the two Minami Kataros transforming together in Decade was just such an awesome thing, because I love those sort of scenes where you've got
So does
two
it do
different.
the explosion back?
Yeah, sometimes. Not
The
really.
Rangers do.
Not really. Kamen Rider doesn't really do that. Well, except Mark. But Mark feels like he's kind of out of place. Mark actually kind of feels like a Sentai guy.
Isn't he something guy?
He feels like a Power Ranger with his whole setup and his roll call and everything.
I mean, the actor wasn't he the city?
I don't think so. Now you've got me
So what?
curious and
No,
looking it
what?
up. Hang on, I'm going to look that up for a second. But, yeah, it just he has that feel to it. He has that feel of a like a Sentai guy because of his roll call and everything.
And he looked more comfortable than the rider guy. More experienced in acting.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll look him up. I'll see what I can find. Here we go. Go Shijima. That's him. Yeah, we were right. His name is Go. So we'll just wait for that. But yeah, that's just the feel of it. I do like his suit. It's a nice contrast to Drive's,
And the
and
scarf
the
goes.
fact that he's actually a rider. Is a thing.
So
There we go.
Batman with the car and Robin with the bike.
Yeah, he does not look like he has done any other like toku at this point in time.
So,
I
so
mean, it'd
what's
be
the show you know him from?
I, I don't know him from a show, but he has a feel, I suppose, of like someone, like just his character.
Ah, I forget. My
But
memory
yeah,
was playing with me. I confused him between this guy and the guy that is in Deno.
oh yeah,
The secondary guy from Deno.
yeah. Zeronis, he's coming back, he's coming back, he's coming back. That's the rumor anyway. Anyway, with that said, and with us all caught up with Kamen Rider Drive, that is going to be us for the week. Hopefully, okay. Now I was going to do a lot of DS games. I have promised it. Unfortunately, my as you can see, the tripod I was using for that kind of broke. The bit where the camera's supposed to sit's come off. So I've kind of come to the decision that I'm not going to be doing any DS games for a while until I can either get a better tripod or a capture card. I
Capture
am sorry
card.
about that. So that's probably not going to happen for a while. I am hoping to be able to do a couple of.
Yeah, I'm confused about something. You're doing what games?
I said I wouldn't. What do you mean? What games? I haven't announced them yet.
No, you said a DS. Is it a 3DS or a DS?
Both.
Ah,
Both. I had plans to do games from both. Fossil Fighters, Pokemon, couple of other things, but I'm going to leave them until I can get a capture card because they do all work in my 3DS. So, however, that doesn't mean that I don't have some gameplay planned. Third time's a charm. I'm hoping to get some Star Trek Online stuff recorded fairly shortly. I might do some retro games that I've gotten my hands on recently. You might see some System Shock 2.
Final Fantasy VIII.
Final Fantasy VIII is definitely on the cards. I have SimCity 2000 if anybody's interested in going old school with SimCity.
And for the visual novel fans, we have the Fate series.
Yes, for the most part, I might drop in on that every so often, but for the most part, that is going to be left in the hands of Ranger of Knights. He is going to be doing all of that. I might come on Skype and watch him and commentate on that, doing that sort of thing. But for the most part, that'll be him by himself. So look forward to that, his first solo videos.
Yes.
You're looking forward to managing through that?
I'm just waiting for you to edit
I'll try and get
follow.
that. Yeah, I'll try and get to that like tonight or tomorrow. Until all of that comes out, this is Ranger of Oz and Ranger of Knights. We'll see you next week for more Kamen Rider Drive, and hopefully later on in the week for some video game action. Until then, this is us saying we will see you later, and have a nice week.
Okay. We're off.